So here's the thing. Not every light color is created equal. You know that moment when you pick what you think is a soft, beautiful neutral, you roll it on, you step back, and suddenly it looks like drywall. Yeah, that's what happens when a light color doesn't have enough character. Today I want to talk about Sherwin Williams light paint colors that actually have personality. Colors that can still feel calm and airy and have that little extra something in them. Depth, balance, warmth, mood, whatever you want. Because a light color doesn't have to be safe. It just has to be smart. So let's start with one that sets the tone perfectly, Drift of Mist. This is one of those colors that makes you stop mid-scroll and think, wait, what color is that? Because it's not gray, it's not beige, it's that perfect misty in-between. And it has a subtle, gentle green undertone that gives it life, but not in a way that feels obviously green. Because not everyone's like me and obsessed with all things green. In a north-facing room, Drift of Mist looks soft and elegant, and in a southern exposure, it warms up just enough to feel cozy, but never yellow. It's the definition of an adaptable neutral, like it's quietly adjusting itself to your home's mood. And then there's Egret White. I always describe Egret White as, I'm a neutral, but I care about my skincare kind of color. It's refined, a little warmer than you expect, and it feels like it's been curated by an interior designer who secretly hates plain white. It's one of these colors that instantly upgrades a builder-grade space. And if you pair it with soft black hardware or muted brass, suddenly the room looks intentional, layered, and calm. If your style leans towards the organic modern or the earthy minimalist look, Egret White is going to feel right at home. Now let's talk about Natural Linen. This one's your classic comfort color. It's warm, but not beige in that dated 2005 way. It's what happens when beige grows up and starts doing yoga. Natural Linen has these subtle, sort of bronzy undertones that create a really cozy sunlit feel, especially in living rooms or bedrooms with wood floors. It ties beautifully into rattan and just woven textures in general, taupe accents for sure. It's the kind of color that makes a space feels like it's been lived in intentionally. But if you're looking for something with a little more personality, filmy green. This is one of my favorite hidden gems from Sherwin Williams. It's soft, it's a barely there green, and somehow still neutral. In daylight, it feels fresh and grounded, kind of like how a muted sage green might. And at night, under warm bulbs, it takes on this comforting gray-green vibe that makes a small room feel like a calm retreat. I love it for bedrooms, and of course bathrooms, even laundry rooms or mud rooms, spaces that can handle a bit of personality, but still need to feel restful. Then we have Shoji White. I like to call this one the warm white for people who hate warm whites. It's got this beige backbone to it, so it never feels icy or frigid, but it's soft enough that it reads modern. In homes with a lot of sunlight, Shoji White prevents glare and gives walls that gentle, diffused glow, almost like natural light through, like linen curtains or something. If you're trying to bridge cooler stone countertops or stainless fixtures with warmer flooring or furniture, Shoji White can be that perfect go-between. Now let's bring in Gossamer Veil. This one's a quiet superstar. It's a true grayish, gray with a little beige softness, but it has more complexity than the typical crowd pleasers. And what makes Gossamer Veil special is its subtle warmth. It's got just enough of this taupiness in it to feel approachable, but never turning weird and creamy. If you've ever wanted a light taupe, this is kind of it. It adds presence without weight, and it looks incredible with black window trim and mid-tone wood floors, and of course leafy greens in the decor. That's a leaf. Hi, leaf. And finally, Heron Plume. This one's underrated. It's one of those colors that doesn't look like much on the swatch, but on the wall, it has this soft, cloudy texture to it. It's an off-white with a touch of lavender gray, which sounds weird. It works beautifully in smaller rooms where pure white feels a bit too sterile. Heron Plume keeps that bright, open feeling, but adds subtle depth to your walls so they don't disappear completely. These colors, Drift of Mist, Egret White, Natural Linen, Filmy Green, Shoji White, Gossamer Veil, and Heron Plume, they all have one thing in common. They're light, but not forgettable. They're calm, but they don't vanish. And that's the balance you want. Something that reflects light beautifully without feeling flat or chalky. Now, a quick note about lighting, because lighting is what makes or breaks any light color. Southern exposure warms everything up. Northern light cools everything down. And LED bulbs can shift the whole tone if you're not careful. If you love a color like Shoji White or Egret White, light, test it under your actual lighting before committing. A warmer bulb will bring out those beige undertones more, while cooler light tends to tone things down. And that's where personality lives, in that in-between space where the color shifts just slightly throughout the day. The truth is, we don't just live in color, we live with color. You want something that grows with you, adapts to the light, and sets the right tone for the day. So if you're ready to repaint, but tired of safe, sterile choices, start with one of these. Sherwin Williams is full of light colors that have opinions. You just have to pick one that shares yours. I'll be doing a follow-up short soon with color pairings for these, the best whites, accents, and darker tones that make them really come alive. So if you're in your bright but interesting era, this is where to start.